dad's dream to talk about his favorite team with the son of digging the stats. Come and join us, nerding on the Dbacks.
Hello, welcome to Nerding on the Dbacks, the best
And only
father-son baseball show.
in America. Don't got this in Argentina.
Yeah, they don't.
Nope.
So I'm son/Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'm Dad/Chris.
And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and chime your inner kindergartner.
And share. Nice. Nice ad lib.
We changed it up here.
Good job. So, if you're joining us for the first time, usually we discuss the big picture, but let's face it, the big picture is coming down to a week and change. So we're going to focus on that. And we got a little bit of an abbreviated episode, unfortunately, with things so tight, but such is life. And so we're just going to launch into D-backs for 4-3 this past week. Do you remember Phoenix I'm going to, spoiler alert, did you really just say that? I said last week that the D-backs would lose their first game to the Rockies, but go on to have a 4-3 record for their road trip. Boom! I kind of saw that coming. That's weird. Sorry.
I don't like this guy.
So let's talk about how we got to that 4-3 record with a little segment that Phoenix stars in called
Who's hot and who's not?
Yeah, and we started off with
Nelly.
I said it's getting hot in here. So hot.
all right,
With
and
special guest, Nelly.
that's funny. One day.
What? No, probably not.
No, probably not on a D-backs podcast.
Definitely not. He
Yeah.
can sing, but it's probably like a Dodgers fan. God. Okay, so
No,
for
he's
the
a-
starting
he's a
pitcher,
Cardinals fan. It's a Cardinals fan.
Okay, why'd you interrupt me though?
Okay, because I just wanted to put a bow on that conversation.
Brandon Pfaadt is the hot starting pitcher. He had 7 innings pitched, 1 run, 1 earned, 12 strikeouts, and 12 strikeouts, 0 walks, 1 home run, and his WHIP is 0.29.
Yeah, he had arguably the best start of any D-backs pitcher all season long right there. I hadn't gone in to take a look at his game score, but I imagine it's got to be right up there with the best performances, if not the best performance of the season. So yeah, good job, Brandon Pfaadt. We needed to see that come through. Even with that incredible performance, he still has an awful September performance from a statistical standpoint.
How?
But go. Yeah.
So for the relieving pitcher, we got the tall llama shoot, AJ Puck.
Yeah.
He had 4 innings pitched, 0 runs, 0 earned, 8 strikeouts, and 0 home runs. And his WHIP is 0.25.
Yeah. He's still only given up 1 run since he joined the D-backs. 1 run. It's kind of it's outrageous is what that is in the best way possible. So, good job, pitchers. You are 2 bright lights in a week of otherwise primarily disappointing performances.
Okay, so for the hot hitter, we got Kettle Marte, MVP possibly. His OPS is 1.413. Yes. Oh my God. He has 30 plate appearances, 1 double, 4 home runs, 7 walks, 6 runs, 8 RBIs, and 1 stolen base.
If anyone's wondering, that says I have a sneeze that won't come out face.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you? Never mind. I thought you looked like you were gonna sneeze.
No, I had a burp.
Oh, okay, that's very funny.
Either that or throw up.
Yeah, it is kind of incredible. I made the comment over the weekend that I think yesterday that Ketel Marte missed like a month of time, And it's crazy how he has kind of put himself back into the MVP discussion with the week he had. Like, he has been so incredibly good for this team. Just absolutely ridiculous. I love watching it. I love watching it. As long as he's in the lineup, the D-backs have a shot.
Yeah. So, for the second hitter, we have Pavin Smith. He has a .960 OPS. He has 4 doubles, 1 home run, 5 walks. Let's see, 4 runs. He has 8 RBIs.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He has 8 RBIs.
Pavin Smith's on the bottom.
Oh, he has 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
And then no stolen bases.
Yeah, they've been, to Torrey's credit, he has been really finding ways to get
Yeah.
Pavin into the
Especially
lineup.
with those 8 RBIs.
It was easy while Gurriel was out.
I'm sorry, who?
Gurriel.
I thought you said Gorio.
Well, Gurriel was out,
Oh, you almost said it.
and so he was able to just plug Pavin Smith in with Grichuk as a platoon out there in left field. But since Gurriel came back over the weekend, he has still found a way to keep Smith in the lineup, which has been good. Smith's been fantastic. And so we've needed that offense that kind of came unexpectedly this year from Pavin Smith. I think he's actually down to now second on the team in OPS. So
Because Kettle? Or
Yeah.
Lourdes? My bad.
no, because of Kettle.
Lourdes. So, oh my God, that is laggy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
back.
for us, not for the final recording.
That's good. For the Ice Ice Babies.
Yeah, we got some Ice Ice Babies coming up next.
Ice, baby.
All right.
Ice Ice Babies.
Yep. Ice Ice Babies. Who's our first Ice Ice Baby?
Joe Mantiply.
I'll be honest, I was surprised you picked him, but continue.
Okay. He has 4 innings.
Wait, he's not a starter. Oh, you flipped them. Let's start out with Jordan Montgomery.
Oh, because he's a
Yeah. Mantiply is a relief pitcher. Montgomery's a starter.
Oh. So, for the horrible starting pitcher, we have Jordan Montgomery. His name.
I mean, it went as expected.
It has 9 innings pitched. He has 6 runs, all earned, 10 strikeouts. I mean, that's not bad.
No, it's not.
4 walks and 1 home run, and his WAP is 1.78.
Yeah, Jordan Montgomery, I mean, here's the thing. Jordan Montgomery has 6 earned runs per 9 innings pitched so far this season, and just in this week, he gave up 6 earned runs in 9 innings pitched. He's just pretty much who he is. It doesn't matter the role. He's there to soak up innings when the D-backs need innings soaked up.
So, for the relief pitcher, we have Joe Mantiply. He has 4 innings pitched, 5 runs, all earned, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and his whip is 1.75.
Yeah, the reason why I was surprised by Joe Mantiply being on here is I understand how from like just a statistics standpoint, yes, it doesn't look good. He came in yesterday and he gave up some runs, but he also was trying to work out of or was that yesterday? Oh no. Okay. He was not that he worked. Okay. So yesterday, this is the part that shocked me a little bit. Yesterday when he came in, I was sitting there and I'm thinking, wait a second. Didn't Joe Mantiply just throw 2 innings on Saturday, the day before, and now Torrey's bringing him back in to pitch again on Sunday after throwing 2 innings on Saturday? He brought him in to pitch on Sunday. So while Mantiply's numbers don't look good, he should have never, ever, ever have been put back out on that mound. You do not put a 1-inning reliever back out on the mound the day after you throw him for 2 innings. That's not good. I'm not, as you know from us being on this show, there's not a lot that I'm critical of Joe Torre for. Most bullpen, every team's fan base thinks their manager sucks at handling the bullpen, and it's just the way that it goes. And so you go tune into any podcast pretty much out there about a team, and they're almost all going to be complaining about how the manager uses the bullpen. So I try not to get into that. However, this is one situation where when you throw Joe Mantiply on Saturday for 2 innings, you cannot. He is off limits unless you go into extra innings. Joe Mantiply is essentially your 9th reliever out of the bullpen on that day. You can't do that to the guy. So he kind of got hung out to dry a little bit by his manager there. And so I don't think his performance, while it looked bad by the numbers, he was put into a situation he never should have been in. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
So for the ice hitter, we have Christian Walker. He has .459 OPS. I said that wrong. He has a .459 OPS, 0 doubles, 0 triples, 1 home run, 1 walk, 4 runs, 4 RBIs, and 0 solo bases.
Yeah, Walker he's been okay since he's come back off the injured list. He definitely has not picked it up where he left off the way Marte has, or Moreno for that matter has. But he's still been, overall, he's been okay. He had a rough week, but overall, he's been perfectly reliable. Certainly not looking like a middle of the order bat. He's looking more like a 6 or 7 hole batter. In fact, you might say you could flip flop him nicely with the hugger slugger.
Eugenio Suarez.
Yep, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. So continue on.
So for our last one, it's Jake McCarthy. He has a point. You didn't even put a point there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't need to put the decimal.
You lazy. He has a .558 OPS. He has 27 plate appearances. He has blank doubles, blank triples, blank home runs.
I should have left his page up on Fangraphs. Let's see if we can pull this. Is it gonna work?
So
This makes some exciting pod, huh? He had no doubles, no triples, no home runs. So blank's not that far off.
He has 1 run,
Yeah.
2 RBIs, 1 walk, and 4 he got striked out 4 times.
Yeah, he did steal 4 bases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was a kind of a rough week.
Wait, did he steal first, then steal second, then steal third, then steal home?
Well, you can't steal first. That's an old phrase in baseball. You can't steal first. It's a cliche.
You also can't take a joke.
Oh, I see. I like jokes. That one went over.
Obviously
it's just the can't steal first is a thing that's said in baseball a lot, because there's a lot of fast guys who could be super dominant if they could just get to first base.
Bunting is pretty much stealing first.
It's close. It still takes a skill to bunt, but yeah. So that is it for the.
What about when you swing and it goes into the dirt and then the catcher has to throw it to first?
Yeah,
That's stealing.
That's kind of, yeah. That's the closest thing there is to it.
That's stealing first.
All right, so Phoenix, good job on the hot or not.
Yeah, thank you. I try.
All right, so
Autographs.
we're coming down to the final week, and unfortunately, this matters so much. They're up by 2 games on the Braves. They're technically tied with the Mets, but what does that mean, Phoenix?
But they're just trailing the Mets due to tiebreaker.
Yeah, they're trailing the Mets due to the tiebreaker. So if the Mets and D-backs finish the season tied, the Mets will finish ahead of them. And the Braves will too. So D-backs have to finish at least one game up on one of those teams. Here's the silver lining. The Mets and the Braves, they both play each other here this week for 3 games. So one team has to lose each night. They can't both keep winning like they do constantly. One of them has to lose each night. So that really helps the D-backs. I'm not going to lie, just because the Braves are so far back, I really hope it's the Mets. The Mets win like 2 out of 3, because if the Mets win 2 out of 3 in this series against the Braves, there's a really good chance that the D-backs are good. They're in just from that. So D-backs got 3 at home versus the Giants, and then at the Padres. The Giants really have nothing to play for at this point in the season. They can't make the playoffs. There's nothing. They're just kind of there to finish out the season. The Padres might be looking to lock in the first wild card series at home. Depends on how the D-backs do this week and how the Padres do in their the D-backs, I think, are still 2 games behind the Padres in the standings. So, and nobody know the tiebreaker has not been decided there. It will be decided with this weekend series. That said, if it comes down to it, once the D-backs clinch a playoff spot, if I was the D-backs, I would not be throwing my A team out on the field for every inning of every game against the Padres. Having home field advantage, while it would be super, super rad for us fans to be able to go to 2 or 3 extra playoff games during this playoff run that's coming up for the D-backs, it doesn't matter that much. It really matters almost nothing for their chances to win that series. Home field advantage means almost nothing in baseball. It's if you could have it, great, but more important than having home field advantage is having all your guys healthy, having your A bullpen rested, having your 3 starters rested, so that you are ready to go in the playoff round that's to follow.
Well, maybe it's good to have home field advantage for the money.
You are correct about that. Ownership would probably prefer that they have home field advantage. But ownership would also prefer that the D-backs go further into the playoffs than have home field advantage for the wild card.
Because then they get money.
Yeah. There's more money in the championship series or in the divisional series than there is in the wild card series.
But they could still make some money.
Correct. So the offense, let's talk a little bit about the team. The offense has stayed hot. Grichuk, Suarez,
Yeah, right.
Grichuk, Suarez, Smith, and Marte are all 1-dotting it for the month of September.
Yeah, so is Lourdes.
No, he's not. Okay.
He would have been if somebody didn't hit him with the ball.
He didn't get hit by the ball.
Well, he got hit in the balls.
No. Let's...
He got hurt, and God is good. I don't know.
Okay. And so, unfortunately, Jake McCarthy was cold. He actually had a better week than he has for most of September. He's been pretty atrocious this entire month. Borderline
Jake.
unplayable. They have been finding a way to replace him in the lineup more often than not. Getting Pavin Smith in right field and moving Carroll to center is a really good way to work around Jake McCarthy as he hopefully finds his stroke here heading into the playoffs. His stroke. His swing. That swing that he had for most of the season.
His stroke, huh?
Yes, his stroke.
Oh.
And when he is in the lineup, they probably need to be batting him at least 8 or 9. Because here's what's crazy. Even though Jake McCarthy has like a 500 OPS
That is crazy.
for the month of September.
That's
Somehow
not
he's
that
still
crazy.
batting higher in the lineup than the Hugger Slugger, who has a 1 OPS for the month of September.
And he's hugging people.
He's a great hugger. I know. Just think of all the hugs he could give if he had more men on base when he hit home runs.
God, he could be a pedophile.
There would be so much. Not that kind of hugger.
Oh. They didn't hear that.
And then the pitching has not really been so hot. The good is Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, and AJ Puck.
Hey,
And honestly,
that's hot. That's hot.
honestly, I'm going to
like-
put,
I
I know
like that.
most people aren't going to agree with this, but Joe Mantiply into this conversation as well. And Justin Martinez has been okay. But Mantiply has just kind of gotten most of it. His ERA for the month is ballooned due to Sunday's game versus the Brewers, where he, again, I just mentioned it, he pitched the day after pitching 2 innings.
Yep.
I don't get it. Weird. So the bad has been Brandon Pfaadt, even with that incredible game that he pitched, he has been so atrocious for the month of September here. Ryan Thompson looks like he probably shouldn't even be on the big league roster. Kevin Ginkel, he had a blow up, which wasn't good, but he hasn't been his normal awesome self around that blow up versus the Brewers a week and a half ago. A week ago. And so he hasn't been terrific outside of that. And so the D-backs as a unit, I should say specifically the bullpen as a unit has the D-backs bullpen has the worst ERA in Major League Baseball in the month of September. And it's by
Woof.
worst.
Oh.
And it's by more than 1 full run. It's not looking good. It's kind of like Torrey, and this is where even he's still got 9 buttons to push in that bullpen. No matter what it is, he's still got 9 buttons out there. You don't need to push the Joe Mantiply button, but you have 8 other buttons out there, and I get it. But the problem is you got 9 buttons, and 6 of them are going to be just complete and utter chaos blow-ups every time that you press that button here in September. You got Puck, which is like perfect innings every time, except you can't throw Puck every game. Apparently you can throw Mantiply, but you can't throw Puck for some reason.
Man, you were really on this Mantiply.
Well, I just think it's just such a weird decision. And I would have rather seen AJ Puck go out there in that situation. If you needed an out, just go to AJ Puck and let AJ Puck go throw it. He only threw 1 inning the day before. I don't know. It's weird. There's only one nobody goes 2 innings and then throws the next day. And then
no, actually, Joe Mantiply did.
And then you got Martinez and Mantiply, who have been okay out there so far this month, but everyone else has been, and even Mantiply has been good. I would say he's probably been the second best reliever for the D-backs in the month of September. And that's the concerning part, is that he's probably been the second best reliever for the D-backs in the month of September. And so I just don't know. The silver lining to all of this is bullpens are extremely volatile from game to game, week to week, month to month, and especially season to season. If there's any unit between the starting pitchers, the relief pitchers, and the offense that can basically just flip a switch and go from the best in Major League Baseball to the worst in Major League Baseball, it's the relief pitchers. And so that might happen. And I'm hoping they're just like working out all of the bad juju that they got from the baseball gods. And Ginkel's going to come out in game 1 of the wild card series and just strike out the side in the 7th. And he's just going to go WWE champion in the belt. It's going to be great. On the sad side, Moreno left yesterday's game with an injury.
I saw that.
The same injury that had him on the IL for about a month. And so they said, though, after the game, doesn't sound like it's serious, and he's probably not going to go back on the injured list. If so, that's a huge bullet dodged, because
Wait, he dodged a bullet?
well, maybe we'll find out.
Was the pitcher throwing that hard?
It might have just grazed him, like Donald Trump assassination style.
Oh, God, politics.
Yeah, I know.
God, you're like that one person at Thanksgiving.
It's oh yeah, that's me. I'm the one trying to talk D-backs, and everyone's Minnesota Twins fans. They're like,
No, you just talk Kamala Harris.
The D-backs have a team? I'm like, no, Arizona has a team. They're called the D-backs. So
There was
I'm
my
guessing
bullet.
that the team will probably call up Adrian Del Castillo for this week ahead. And I don't know who you send down necessarily, but it would be a good idea to have ADC back up.
I think you should send down Tori.
Okay. And so
Come on, get it together now.
so ADC can take some extra games, maybe play a couple times this week. You don't really want to expose Gabby unless the season looks dire versus the Padres. You just don't want to bring Moreno or start Moreno in too many games. You really need him for the playoffs, so you need him to be healthy. And then the good news, Ryan Nelson is expected to return this week. The ace. Okay, maybe not the ace, but he's
The B
he's very
minus?
good. I mean,
The B minus?
both
B plus?
Yeah, I mean he's
Or is he a B? B minus?
he right now
C plus?
if he was healthy, he would be absolutely 100% one of the three pitchers pitching in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay, so that's not a report card grade.
No, none of them are.
A
So
plus?
no,
F,
no,
D,
no, he's
C,
not Jordan Montgomery.
D, E,
I'd give him an A
F.
minus.
at least an A.
Okay, so Kelly
So
and
mean on
Gallen
his grades.
are both at 250. Both have an ERA under 250.
You're lying.
No, for the month of September, they've both been absolutely fantastic. And Ryan Nelson, of course, with the exception of the game that he got injured, has been just absolute nails for the last 3.5 months of the season since basically June 1st. He's been incredible.
No, he was a construction worker.
And so,
I thought he was a D-backs player.
and so they should still start. Montgomery. That means Montgomery doesn't have to start this week with Ryan Nelson coming back.
Yeah, and he can focus on his construction working.
And so Montgomery could probably, if you still are in a position that you have the wild card clinched, you should probably start Montgomery on Sunday so that you can keep the rotation rested and have them all lined up the way that you want them for the wild card series. And, it's going to be a really fun, thrilling, suspenseful week of baseball ahead now. It's, there's a lot more, I would say there's a lot more anxiety in the last season of a baseball, the last week of a baseball season like this when it's so close than there is in any wild card or in any playoff situation, just because all you want is a shot. Every team except for one loses in the playoffs, right? Only one team is going to finish the season. Once you get to the playoffs, only one of those teams is going to finish the season with a win. Every other team is going to lose. And so there's just not as much anxiety, I don't think, going into it as playing 162 games, and it comes down to one freaking game as to whether you get to play the tournament at the end of it or not. And so this could be very suspenseful. It also could be over by Friday. And so we'll find out how it goes. Go Mets, go D-backs. And yeah, if the Mets sweep and the D-backs sweep, playoffs are clinched.
I thought we were cheering for the Braves.
No. The Mets. Go Mets, go.
Go Braves.
No.
Yes.
That makes it harder for the D-backs.
How? You said the Braves weren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, so the Braves aren't in the playoffs. So the more space that the D-backs can put between themselves and the Braves, it makes it more likely.
Okay, so if the D-backs are right here, the Mets are right here, and the Braves are like right here, and the Mets.
No,
just
no,
like
no.
me.
The D-backs are here. The Mets are like right here. We don't. There's only 3 wild card spots right now. They're occupied by the Padres, the D-backs, and the Mets. If the Braves lose, that means they can't be one of those 3 teams. So if the Mets beat the Braves, it makes it almost impossible for the Braves to get ahead of the D-backs.
Take it away, Limerick.
Yearning. Under.